Good morning students, welcome back to online classes of digital communication. So in the previous class we have seen about the discrete memoryless channels DMC and why the name DMC has been arrived and how we are what you can say justifying it that by the name of discrete memoryless channels, correct? So channel, you know already, I'll just revise it once again, a medium through which you are transmitting your data from a transmitter to the receiver end, right? Then afterwards we are saying it as memoryless. Because why we are saying it as memoryless? Because the current output is only dependent on your current input, so it's not storing any kind of data in that one, so it is called as your memoryless. And when it comes to the discrete, the channel is said to be discrete because both x and y, that is nothing but your inputs as well as your outputs, both are finite. You are having some discrete values over there because it's a digital communication, right? So that's the reason we are saying it as discrete memoryless channel. So in this discrete memoryless channel, we are again have seen different types, okay, and we have also seen how your channel matrix representation is shown, like P of yj by xi, that is probability of getting the output yj when you are giving the input of xi. So and for that one we have also seen the channel matrix, how we are going to represent, and along with that one we have seen the types of channels. There were 3 channels that we have discussed in the yesterday's class, that is lossless channel, and deterministic channel, and noiseless channel. Okay, now in today's class we are going to see about your next topic, that is your binary channel communication channel. And in yesterday's class we have also seen that mutual information, 2 of the properties of your mutual information was not clear for your people, so I have bought this one new notes, so you can copy over here. Actually, what is meant by mutual information? It is defined as the amount of information that has been transmitted when xi is transmitted and yj is received, okay, and that can be represented as I of xi comma yj is equals to log p of xi by yj divided by log p of I. That is nothing but probability of getting the output when you are giving the input of xi. And we have seen the 4 properties. First property shows that it will be having a symmetric property. Second, you are showing that you will be having entropy as well as the conditional entropy. Third property was your mutual information will be always having the positive, that is I of x is to y is greater than or equals to 0, that I have shown in your yesterday's class. Okay, these were the 2 properties that we have discussed, and this was the mutual information, and it was so blur, correct? So this is the third property, and the 4th property is your mutual information, that is also related to the joint entropy, and that joint entropy is called as h of x plus h of y minus h of x comma y. This is your joint entropy. So these are the 4 properties that we have discussed about in yesterday's class of your mutual information. Fine. So in today's class we are going to see the very next topic is your channel capacity. Very interesting topic. You might expect a question from this topic, what you are discussing it today. So either for 5 marks or 10 marks or for 2 marks, but surely you'll get a question on this particular topic of a binary communication channel. So before we move on to the binary communication channel, we just see what is a channel capacity. What generally if I ask what is meant by capacity, means the ability to do that particular work. Yes, so here we are discussing about the ability of your channel. So the channel capacity of a discrete memoryless channel is given as maximum mutual information. It means that your channel should be having the capacity to transmit the maximum information which is present in your message signal. Okay, I hope that you people have got a difference between what is a message now, what is the information. Message signal is nothing but what I am transmitting, then after some time I will become calm. Okay, some disturbance may occur, so that in that particular time you won't get any kind of information. So the channel should be having that particular capacity, that it should be giving you the maximum mutual information. Mutual, you already know what is meant by mutual information. So that is what we call as your channel capacity. So I'll repeat the definition over here. The channel capacity of a discrete memoryless channel is given as maximum mutual information that should be provided, and the maximization is taken with respect to the input probabilities. So depending upon the input probabilities, you have to relate, you have to assume that how we are saying that it should be related or it should be with respect to input probabilities. Input probability is nothing but input message whatever the transmitter is giving. So in that one you have to select the mutual information, means that the channel should be having that particular ability or the capacity to take that particular mutual information and give it to the transmitter. And the channel which we are selecting here is discrete memoryless channel. So these discrete memoryless channels should be having the capacity to give the maximum mutual information, and that maximum mutual information how we will be getting with respect to the input probabilities whatever you are getting. Of course you have to get it from the input itself, isn't it or not? Because whatever the transmitter has been sending you the information or the message, from that you have to take out your information. So your maximization has to be taken with respect to your input probabilities, and that can be given as channel matrix C is equals to maximum of, what is this, I of x is to y, this is nothing but your mutual information. So channel capacity C is equals to maximum of mutual information, or that can also given as P of xi. Okay, this can be taken with respect to your input probabilities. So this was the small definition of your channel capacity. Okay, I hope you are all clear with this part. Now let's move on to the binary communication channel. We have seen discrete memoryless channel. Now we are moving to the next topic, that is your binary communication channel. You have to see, we are giving the binary numbers and you are seeing the communication channel in that. Now see, first we are considering channel, how your inputs are given and how the probability of outputs are been considered. Okay, now consider a discrete channel where only two symbols are been transmitted. Okay, first I'll explain this figure. Please keep in mind this figure. These figures are very important. You may questions may ask, problems may be asked depending upon these particular figures. Okay, so consider a discrete channel where we are transmitting only two symbols. Okay, two symbols are been transmitted. What are the two symbols, ma? X0 and X1. These both are the inputs. These both inputs or these both symbols we are transmitting in the discrete channel. Okay, this is the discrete channel. Now see, binary communication channel, this one. So what will be the output? What is the input you are given? If I am giving the X0 as an input, I am having two probabilities of getting the output. One is Y0, another is Y1. I am having two probabilities of getting this particular output. If I am considering X1 as the input has been applied or transmitted, there are two probabilities of getting the output, that is Y0 as well as the Y1. Now tell me, what is the probability of getting the Y0 when you are transmitting the input X0? So that is given as, how you will be giving the probability of getting output, you have seen here in the last class. See here in the last class how we have given the output, what is the probability of getting the output, P of yj comma xi. Or if you go for the channel matrix, probability of getting the output Y1 when you are applying input X1, or probability of getting Y2 as the output when you are applying the input X1. Here also similarly you have to see that what I am getting here, probability of getting Y0 as an output when applying the input X0. Now I am getting the Y0 as an output when applying the input X1. So I will be getting two probabilities here. Now comes to the probability of getting Y1 as an output. What are the two probabilities? Because we are transmitting two symbols here. So if I am getting the Y1 as an output when I am having the input X0. One again I will be getting Y1 as an output then when X1 has been given as an input. So here it is called as binary communication. You will be communicating here and this is a particular channel. Two times you are communicating, correct? So you are using a discrete channel where only two symbols are being transmitted, and for every signal what are the probabilities of getting the output we have seen. Now see how you will be getting these particular outputs. See here. So first very first thing is, I am applying here P of Y0. If I am considering only P of Y0, what is the probability of getting this P of Y0 is P of X0, means probability of this particular input, into P of Y0 divided by X0. Probability of getting this Y0 as an output when you are applying the X0 value. Now next one, P of X1. the probability of getting the output from this particular input. And what is the probability of output? P of y naught divided by x1. This is the P of y naught value. Nothing but you have got this particular value when you are applying these two symbols, or these two symbols has been transmitted to this particular channel. Okay, now if I go for the second channel, P of y1, if I consider, what is P of y1? Now you people can tell easily. First probability is getting from x0, so P of x0 into P of y1 into P of y1 divided by x0, plus what is the second probability from where you are getting? From x1, so P of x1 into P of y1 divided by x1. So this is how you are going to represent your outputs of y0 as well as the y1. Two discrete symbols has been transmitted, and two discrete outputs have been generated, but that particular symbols in terms of probability can be written in this way. If I consider this one into channel matrix, if I am going to write this one into particular matrix form, then I can write it as P of y0 and y1. These are the inputs. And how we will be going to write this one? Okay, P of y0, so P of x0 into P of x1, matrix of P of y0 x0, probability of getting x0 as an output when you are applying y0 as an output when applying x0 as an input, probability of getting y1 as an output when you are applying x0 input. Then afterwards you will be getting here, see, probability of getting y0 as an output when applying x1 input, and probability of getting y1 as an output when you are applying x1 as an input. So this is a probability. If you go on multiply, the same equation you will be getting. So for this equation we are just showing the representation in a matrix form. That's it. So I hope you are clear with the binary communication channel, how a channel binary it is communicating this particular channel. So this is called as your binary communication channel. Now see the next one. See, in case of any doubts or any confusion in this particular part of your binary communication channel, please do let me know. I'll explain it once again. Now very next topic is your binary symmetric channel. Okay. Now tell me, what does it mean of a symmetric? General, if I consider in a general meaning of what we can say English, if I ask what is meant by symmetry, nothing but it is made up of similar parts, correct? Similar things. Nothing but it is made up of very exactly or very similar things. So here also we are considering the similar things. If they are present, how we are going to have symmetric channels? If you are having the same channels, okay, if I am having the binary symmetric channels, how the probability of occurring your outputs and how you will be calculating that one, we have to see here. Okay, you have to just remember all the formulas over here. So the binary communication channel is said to be symmetric if the condition P of y0 by x0 is equals to P of y1 by x1 is equals to P. Probability of getting the output y0 when you are applying the input x0, and probability of getting the y1 as an output when applying the x1 as the input, that both should be equals to P. This is called as your binary symmetric channel, because they are made up of exactly similar channels. So that's the reason it is called as binary symmetric channels. So same formula you can use over here. Getting your P of y0 and P of y1 as the outputs for the both probabilities of outputs, then you will be getting P of x0 into P of y1 into what is P of y0 by x0, P of y1 by x0, P of y0 by x1, and P of y1 by x0. So that here we have already given that the condition for the symmetric is P of y0, probability of getting y0 divided by x0, that is equals to P of y1 divided by x1, that is equals to P. Now we have to apply P. Wherever you are having in these parts, you have to apply P, and here it is already given. It is given as 1 minus P. It will be given in the question. In case of not given, you can apply or you can find it out from here. So P of this equation can be given for the binary symmetric channel is given as P probability of inputs, that is P of x0 into P of y1 multiplied of P into 1 minus P, 1 minus into P. That's it or not? Similarly from the binary communication channel, you have to apply the inputs whatever you have got. Clear? So this is what your binary symmetric channel. Now in case of cascade channels, how you have to apply the cascade channels, I'll show here. I'll directly by using what we can say, these are the two channels that we have seen. Now these two channels we are applying a cascade, means you are applying this one particular channel and one more channel over here, and I'm giving a problem so that it will be very easy for you people to find it out. Okay, do practice this problem. See, two binary symmetric channels are connected in cascade. Which channels you are applying here? Binary symmetric channels have been in cascade, see, side by side. Now we have to find first the channel matrix of the resultant channel. Channel matrix means this particular matrix you have to find, first one. Then afterwards find the P of Z1 and P of Z2 values when you are giving P of X1 and P of X2 as 0.4 and 0.6. Okay, 0.6 and 0.4 are the input values of X1 and X2 probabilities. Then you have to find the P of Z1, probability of Z1 and Z2. This, like this you have to find out, and you have got these two values, but these are cascade, so these you have to find separately and these you have to find separately. And before that you have to find the channel matrix of the resultant channel. So this is your overall channel and you have to find the channel matrix of your resultant channel. Clear with the figure I have given over here in the next page? See here, I hope it is clear. Whatever the figure I have shown here, in external examiner also they will be giving the figure something like this only, and you have to find out the problem and you have to find out the probabilities of outputs and as well as your channel matrix. So first we'll see what is the probability of getting the channel matrix P of Z1 divided by X1. So before I move on, I'll explain one thing, that you are getting the probabilities of what is the output here, ma? Z, and what is the input? X. Okay, then you have to write as the probability of P of Z by X, but you are having the cascade of two channels, so in between you are having Y also. So what you have to do, probability of Z by X, when you are applying X as an input and Y is the output, then the probability can be given as P of Z by Y. Yes, you are getting the Z as an output when you are applying Y as an input, and P of Y by Z, because you are getting the Y as an output when you are applying X and as input. So combination of these two things you have to do. Okay, so this is very important. So that's the reason we have called it as binary symmetric matrix. They are symmetrical also and they are cascaded, and you are having one more channel over here, so you have to combine both the channels. So Z is an output when applying the input Y, and Y is an output when you are applying the input X. So that's the reason we have given the probability as P of Z by Y into P of Y by Z. Now what is the P of Z by Y is the condition. What are the conditions that you will be getting? P of Z1 when you are applying the Y1 as an input. Okay, this is the first output. When you are applying the P of Z2 as an output, when you are applying the Y1, because from one input you are getting the two outputs. So what is the probability of getting the two outputs Z1 and Z2 when you are applying Y1 as an input? That are P of Z1 divided by Y1, this is the first probability, and P of Z2 divided by Y1, second probability. Now if you are applying the input Y2, what are the probabilities? Now you say P of Y2 Z1 divided by Y2 and P of Z2 divided by Y2. So this is the first probability that you have occurred from here. Now comes to the Y by X, means the probability that you are giving the input as X and Y is the output. Now what are the probabilities of getting the Y1 and Y2 if you are giving the inputs as X1? That is P of Y1 divided by X1 and P of Y2 divided by X1. For probability of getting the outputs Y1 and Y2 when you are applying the input X1. Now comes to the output when you are applying when X2, P of Y1 divided by X2 and P of Y2 divided by X2. So these are the condition. Now you are having the value for each and every part. Okay, what is the part? This one, we are applying the Y1 value and you are getting the Z2 output. What is the value over here? 0.7. Substitute the value over 0.7. Then what is the value when you are getting Y1 as an input and Z2 as an output? That is 0.3. See the arrow mark over here? It is 0.3. You have to apply 0.3. Now Y2 as an input, Z1 as an output. What is the value over here? It is going from here, input to output, 0.3. Then value is 0.3. Again from Z2 to Y2. What is Z2 to Y2 here is 0.7. Same, have to substitute the values. Here also you can observe the figure. From X1 to Y1, what is the value? 0.8. From Y2, if you are getting the output, is 0.2. Again, it is X2 to Y2 is 0.8. And from X2 to Y1, it is 0.2. So just multiply this and simplify the equation. You will be getting the channel matrix as this one. So this is the first part. We have solved that. Find the channel matrix of the resultant channel. So this is the resultant channel Z1 and Z2, and for this one we have found the channel matrix. Okay, now this is clear. Now second, what you have to find, it is said that find the Z1 and Z2 value if P of X1 and P of X2 values are given as 0.4 and 0.6. Fine. Now we have to apply this in the equation, that the binary symmetric channel equation. What was that? P of Y0 into P of Y0 and Y1 is equals to P of X0 into values. Now we are having this here. P of Z1 and Z2 is equals to P of X1 and X2. Directly we are taking now. From here, Z1 is an output, X1 as an input. He hasn't asked us to find out separately Y1 values. He has just told us to find only Z values. So P of Z1, Z2 is equals to, applying the inputs directly from here, P of X1 in X2 into of P of Z1 divided by X1 directly, and P of Z2 divided by X1. Then P of probability of getting the Z2 as an output when applying X1, and probability of getting Z2 as an output when applying X2. Okay, now you got the values of P of X1 as 0.6 from the question, and P of X2 is equals to 0.4. Substitute the values, and what are the values that you have got from here? These are the probabilities of getting the output P of Z1 divided by X1. These are the output values you have got, because this is a channel matrix, cascaded matrix, combination of whole matrix. Okay, separately we need not to find out again why. So it is combination of whole matrices. So this is the matrix that we have got already from here. Okay, P of Z by Y. So it is the P of Z1 by X1, P of Z2 by X1, P of Z1 by X2, and P of Z2 by X2. Substitute these values, do the multiplication, matrix multiplication, solve, and then you will be getting the values of your last channel matrix. P of Z1 is equals to 0.54 and P of Z2 is equals to 0.476. You have to cross multiply just. Okay, I hope you are clear with this part. Okay, this is the equation how you have to find the cascaded matrix, channel matrix. This is very important question. In every paper you can expect this question. So I hope you are clear with this one. Do practice once again. In case of any doubts, please do let me know. The first you have to find a channel matrix, then go for the separately, because you have found a channel matrix including all the channels what are there in present, because they are cascaded. Then afterwards obviously you will be getting the matrix as P of Z by X, that you have to multiply, and P of X and Y1 values have already given. Just you have to substitute and find the equation. Clear? And when it comes to the assignment part of your last thing, Shannon-Fano and Huffman coding, most of the students have submitted me the assignment and have asked me the questions also. So I really appreciate all the students have asked me. In the 16 batch students, 17 batch students have also are doing very well. Okay, all the students have been interestingly participating in the classes. I hope they are listening the classes also. Sahib is also doing assignments very nicely. Vikar, Shoaib, Rafe, Kamran, everyone has been doing, even girls also. So please continue the work like this only. Watch the classes, do the assignments properly, do practice well, maintain the running notes also. And in today's class, if you are having any doubts regarding this problem and all, please do let me know. I'll clear it. Okay, so I'll wind up the class here itself. Thank you.